Hi there guys, it's Chris here with selfmadenewbie.com, and in this video we're going to go through the best adventure games currently on Xbox Series X and S. So before we jump in, drop a like, subscribe and turn that bell if you want to be updated with new videos. Alright, so I'm going to skip all the fluff. I've tried to keep this list as comprehensive and as varied as possible, and I've tried to avoid obvious picks. So if you go into the description there as well, you can see those recommendations and confirm what they are, and also check out the pricing, etc. Alright, so jumping right in, let's go. My first one on the list is going to be number 5, Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order. So when players found out that they were getting a single-player adventure RPG in Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order, interests were piqued, to say the least. Upon release, the game has had tons of players singing its praises, as everything from the combat to the fully realized world allows players to explore parts of the Star Wars universe that they had never seen before. In addition, the ability to adapt your character into who you wanted was also incredibly interesting. The game also came through with a trademark difficulty that served to give the game quite a bit more longevity as well. The game was much more difficult than those single-player offerings from the Star Wars video game canon. And this isn't a bad thing either, as rising up to the challenge of the game feels really good. It also allows you to adventure throughout its world for just a while longer. So if you are someone who is either a Star Wars fan or a fan of adventure games as a whole, definitely check this one out. You will not be disappointed. The next one on my list is my recommendation for a more cartoon style game, and this is Psychonauts 2. So for players who are familiar with Psychonauts, its sequel's inclusion on the list should really come as no surprise. It takes all of the unbridled creativity of the first game and just ramps it up through the power of a more modern technology. So throughout the game, players will play as the familiar face Raz from the first game, and this gives the game a sense of familiarity for those who have played the first game. So this is available through Xbox Game Pass, and also makes this title extremely accessible. The unique design of the game instantly makes it stand out, even among more popular titles. So while the majority of the player's time will be spent platforming, the way in which the game incorporates psychic abilities makes this really fun. And this is a game that allows players to explore for themselves and also find their own adventure. The level design, as well as many other elements, shine in this title, making it a fantastic choice and also one of the best adventure games you can experience currently on Xbox. The next one on my list is going to go to Sea of Thieves. So despite its rocky launch, it has been smooth sailing, to say the least, since the company addressed their issues. So this game embodies the high fantasy setting of piracy, and life on the high seas. So the game does a great job of incorporating multiplayer elements into the game, and having you sail around with your friends is always a great time. Along the way, players will work hard together and make a mountain of treasure for themselves. And as far as strictly adventuring goes, this might be the best choice on the list, in fact. The open world within the game is so fully realized that you can partially smell that salty air as you play very easily for hours. This game is one that encourages cooperation between players as well as competition, so that makes it a wonderful title for those who really want to get immersed in an adventure. So if you haven't played Sea of Thieves, this game is extremely accessible and also available through Xbox Game Pass. So if you're looking for immersion in an adventure on the high seas, definitely pick this one up. The next one on my list is my recommendation for more of a futuristic feel, and this is going to go to No Man's Sky. So this had a very polarizing launch that actually left a bad taste in a lot of players' mouths. So despite this though, the developers at Halo Games were hard at work to rectify any issues, and it did suffer from a lot of issues. This included the promised boundless scale being reduced really to an afternoon of exploring. Added to this, the feature that had been hyped up by the developers for a long time, the multiplayer, wasn't even present at the launch. Since then, however, they have gone back to the drawing board and have made No Man's Sky the adventure that they initially promised. As a result, there are many elements of this game that make it wonderful for players who enjoy adventure. These include the fact that the game's scale is now nearly unlimited, and it invites you to explore. In addition, the mining mechanics as well as many other mechanics for the game have all been smoothed out. So simply put, if you haven't explored the adventure that is No Man's Sky, now is definitely a great time to do so, now that the issues and everything have been rectified. And the final one on my list is gonna go to The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. So this is a game that cannot stop itself from collecting accolades. The game itself is stunning to look at, and traveling throughout this world, it just never ceases to amaze. Everything from the combat to the immersion, feeling tucked away in every nook and cranny. It's just a really phenomenal experience. The game even updated its combat system to make it more accessible for modern standards and sensibilities. This also shows that the developers' willingness to work away at the game, even to this day, just makes it even better. So it features quests that will remain with players far after you've completed the game. And it just as a whole epitomizes what an adventure game should be. So traveling the lands as Geralt never ceases to leave players stunned, whether it's through the seemingly boundless environments. So if you have not experienced this game, there's really has never been a better time to get it than now. It's really one of the greatest adventures that modern day players can embark on, which is why I'm going to put it as my top pick for now. Alright guys, so those are my top picks for best adventure games currently on Xbox. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Again, check my recommendations below, and if you found value, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care.